Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of November 16th through the 22nd. And during that time, we'll have a waning crescent moon, which is the time of surrender, rest, and healing. So we're resting up and getting ready for the new cycle that begins on the new moon, which is around the 20th, 21st, depending on where you are. And that energy can go on for a few days there. And a new moon is about a fresh start, new beginning, just beginning of the cycle, time to start new projects, make new decisions, just all those new things, all those adjustments that you wanted to make from the last cycle and get those things started anew. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week, Libra. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, a time to give rather than take. All right, let's see what the Libra Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, my fun reminder this week is that you take a little bit of time to learn something new this week. And I mean, like really do a deep dive on something. Think of a topic that maybe has been on your mind lately. And, if you're like me, we're learning new things every day. But to really deep dive on something, I have to kind of buckle down and focus upon that. So that is just my fun reminder, is that you take that time this week. Give yourself a few hours. You might want to read a book about it, watch a lecture, do several things, just really deep dive and learn something, maybe even take notes until you really feel like, oh, okay, I've got a handle on that particular topic. So that is just my fun reminder for the week, Libra. All right, let's get into this reading, November 16th through the 22nd. A time to give rather than take. All right, Libra, your present energy right now is, well, of course it's time to give, because look at your sun energy, the happiest card in the deck, that you're just in a really good place right now. Happy. It might just be maybe you love this time of year. The autumn is really nice for some people, that it's just their favorite time of year. They feel really good. The weather's perfect. So sitting in a really good energy there with that sun card. Your current situation is the Fool. So look at you, off on a new journey. Look how brightly lit these cards are. So I can see why it is the time for you to be giving, because you are just in a really good, happy place. You're starting off on a new journey. Perfect timing here with this new moon coming in, that you're going to start something anew, start something fresh, and you're just really feeling it right now. At the root of your situation this week is some collaboration here with the Three of Pentacles. So there may be some changes or something involved with work where you're thinking about collaborating, or you're putting forth some energy here, in that front, exchanging ideas back and forth, but something having to do with your pentacles. And that could be, it could be work related, some kind of material related, but somewhere where you're collaborating on something. It is kind of new for you with this Fool card. It's kind of a fresh start, and that's good. You've just got a really great attitude about it. So I like that a lot. In your recent past is the Page of Pentacles. So this is a new path in the way of Pentacles. So again, something new for you, a new journey. I feel like for some of you, this could just translate to, maybe at your current job, collaborating in a way that you haven't before, that's going to be lucrative for you. For some of you, maybe you've changed your position within your job, that you're working in a new way. You got a raise, and you're just doing things in a new way. For some, it could be a completely new job, totally. But again, sometimes it's job related, and with the Pentacles, sometimes it's just material related. It could be related to your house. Maybe you've recently moved, or you're collaborating with someone on some sort of renovation, something. But yeah, you're kind of on a new path there and a new journey. Everything says this is new. Whatever this is for you this week, it's new to you. What's on your mind this week is the Four of Swords, which is definitely, hopefully, the first part of this week, that rest and meditation, that waning crescent energy, where it is time to kind of rest up before this new start. So that's on your mind, and you may just be trying to work that into your routine. How do you make sure that you're being very productive and getting the things done that you want to, but also resting, in a good way. A lot of times all of us can kind of go and forget that you do need to rest sometimes, and just take advantage of getting good sleep. I know, I don't know if you're like me, this time change has been like literally by 7, 8 o'clock at night, I'm like, okay, is it time for bed now? I've really had to push through that time change, but I keep trying to remind myself too that it's okay to maybe get a little extra rest, get an hour or two extra sleep, because it's just so dark. It's so dark and cold, and here comes winter, and it is kind of that hibernation period. So make sure that you're getting enough rest, and it is on your mind to rest. And you may be having a new meditation practice at this point too, with all of these cards of newness with that Fool there. So all right, what is just ahead of you this week is the Devil card. So, wow, don't let that devil get on your shoulder and throw, false truths in your path. You're in a really good position. Don't let any kind of negativity creep into you. If that's just the devil in your ear talking to you, right? So, that's that devil that's giving you the self doubt messages in your ear. He's on your shoulder saying, oh, you can't do that. You're not good enough to do that. It throws those insecurities and that really fear of success. So let's try to really just not focus on that. Obviously it's going to be there. It's something that you are going to battle, but you're going to have to kind of fight that this week. And hopefully we would see like the temperance card pop up so that you have the angel on the other shoulder too, whispering in your ear, kind of counteracting that devil card. So in your advice position is to go ahead and celebrate. Again, if you want to hang out with friends, family, it's just a good time for you right now. You're in a really good place. And that could be part of that giving also, that, maybe you call a friend and you're like, hey, let's go grab dinner, let's grab drinks, and you treat your friend. So because you're in that good space, and you may need someone to talk through, those things that the devil likes to put in our ears, again, those insecurities, those things. Make sure that this isn't about dependency, something that maybe you're a little dependent on, and that you would want to run towards that at the first at the first negative thing that gets in your head. Let's fight that. But if you want to use a friend to fight that with and talk over those insecurities and say, hey, this is in my head, and sometimes it's just a friend that says, don't listen to that, that's not true, you can totally do whatever it is. Let that friend pump you up, right? What is beyond your control this week is your financial security and just material security here with the Four of Pentacles. So I'm not shocked by that. Look at numerology after, because I'm seeing a couple things pop up here. What is your secret desire and what are you trying to avoid? It's the Eight of Wands. So is it your secret desire to just handle everything that comes in and have things coming in quickly? Or are you trying to avoid things kind of moving and changing and coming in so quickly? That'll be a question. So, sometimes that's really not anything you have control over when it comes to that card. Things are ever changing, things are coming in, messages, ideas, that sort of thing. So, but it is kind of your big question this week is, are you in a place where you can, let these things come in and you can manage them quickly as they hit you? Or are you like, oh no, I want to rest and meditate, right? So that might be a little bit of a battle for you also this week. In your outcome position is hard at work here. Hard at work with the Eight of Pentacles. So, lots of pentacles in this reading. Let's see, cups, pentacles, wands. I guess we have every element represented here. I mean, I feel like you're just on a new journey. You're just really going to have to kind of fight you're fighting those little inner demons that are giving you that self-doubt and making you kind of question yourself and your abilities. So buckle down, get to work. Again, if you need a friend to kind of help you quell those self-doubts, then certainly call on somebody. I will say numerologically here now. So we have 4 and 4 together, and we also have 3 and 3. So you need to look up angel numbers 44 and 33, see if those have any bearing on your week. But it looks like just by the end of the week, you're going to be on this new project, buckled down and working really hard at it. What is hidden from you this week is the Five of Wands. So this is about, debate, argument. I feel like you just have a nice clear path. There's not debate about anything that you need to do. It seems like you've put the time and energy into thinking about it, thinking about your plan, thinking about the new path that you're taking, and it's just going to lead to you working hard. I mean, I think this energy is really going along with the actual moon energy that we're in right now. There you've got the rest and meditation, you've got the starting the new work. You're just super, super lined up with the moon this month, Libra. All right, let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. A final message for Libra from the Soul Oracle deck, November 16th through the 22nd. And the card that comes up for you is to look forward. I love that. And I feel like you are. I mean, it looks like your plans are coming to fruition, whatever it is that you have been thinking about working and tweaking and adjusting. You're moving forward successfully with that. So I love that. What does Libra need to do in the way of self-care for this week? Self-care for Libra, November 16th through 22nd. Self-care. And the card that you get is the card called Ease. Today, I allow life to be easy. That's awesome. And I do feel like you do have a good flow to your week. I don't, the only obstacle I see is this kind of self-doubt, which you can fight that. You've got this positive sun energy right now. Just let that positive sun energy drown out any of that. If you need to do some affirmations this week to kind of just bolster up your confidence level, make sure you're doing that. But again, you have friends that you can rely on to go to and say, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this self-doubt or this fear is coming in, and let your friend help quell that. I feel like that's what friends are for, right? So, Libra, thank you so much for being here with me. I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use positively in your week. Looks like you're going to buckle down at the end. And I did just notice that I've also forgot you have 88 here. So, wow, look at this. We've got 88, 33, and 44. So another angel number. I don't know how I missed that one, but you've got 3 angel numbers here. Look those up and let those also help to guide you along your path this week. And I think you're just going to have a really good, successful week. It's going to be easy, like this card says, ease. That's awesome. So if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, was your week easy? Are you starting off on a new path that's going to lead you to just kind of really being into the work that you're doing right now? Also, if you like my reading style, please click the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel. I appreciate that so much, but most importantly, it'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see if this easy life continues or if there's a new energy that pops in for you next time. So thanks so much, Libra, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.